Live from the NHBL Superdome in Chicago, the final open tournament for Season 9 of the National Heavy Boxing League. And what better way to end the open season tournament for the first time in a year and a half, the man himself, the amazing Sins in the color analyst role. Good evening, everybody. Gentleman Fedora alongside my great friend, great partner, Sins. My friend, it's been a while since you and I have been in the broadcast booth together. I think the last time was with the three-man commentary system, and it has been a long time coming. Glad to be with you again here in Chicago.
Oh my goodness, it's been about 3 years. Oh, it's exciting, super exciting. I'm super excited to be back into the booth with you. It's been a long time coming. I was super excited for this, and hell, we're going to have a very good night of boxing action tonight. A lot of new faces, a lot of people wanting to get into the playoffs, their final chance. It's do or die.
It's very much do or die in this situation. First match we've got leading up for the Battle Royale is in between Hulk Hogan and Baxter. Both of them have been in several tournaments throughout the season. Hulk Hogan, this is his second major appearance, and the only thing he has a name for himself is back in the Backyard Brawl in October when he lost to Shicken in the first round, going up against Baxter, who still has that sort of ghost hanging over his head of you can't make it past the second round. Baxter's looking to make a name for himself here, get to the second round. He's already qualified for the playoffs, but Hulk Hogan looking to make an even bigger upset.
Yeah, Hulkamania and Bax too, but Hulkamania has been proved himself on the fight night circuit. He's very, he gets past the second round and then he loses in the first round. He's just very flip floppity. Bax, in the major circuit, that like you said, that kind of cloud that's hanging over him to try to get past the second round. It's going to be difficult for Bax for sure. The big thing though, if I was Hulkamania, knowing him, he's very charismatic. He's very enthusiastic. So I think he wants to get into the playoffs. I think that's definitely on his agenda. He can definitely get into the playoffs if he just tries. And if he tries, he could go well with it. All he has to do is just beat Baxter to go in the second round and then see where he goes there.
I'll tell you another heavy boxer, or set of two heavy boxers who have on their agenda to get to the playoffs is in between Rage Will and Raid Baron. Raid Baron, he was very active in Season 8. Now he's been really quiet, did not appear for any of the tournaments this past season because of various life commitments. But Rage Will, the furthest he has gone as in a tournament was in the Boxing Day Classic, where he lost in the quarterfinals to Egyptian Bagel, who's on the same side of the bracket as him. So for Rage Will, made a lot of efforts to get here, a lot of efforts to get to this tournament tonight, especially. But Rage Will, I would say he's more motivated than Raid Baron to get towards the playoffs. But this is another one of those situations where we've seen people make their first appearance in the majors in the Battle Royale, and this could be one of those Cinderella stories cooking.
Yeah, and Rageville, he's due. He's been with NHBL for a few years now. Been on the cusp of greatness in Fight Night, fighting for the Fight Night Championship on multiple occasions, just has never held the gold. And it's a lot like the major circuit. He's been so close, but yet just so far. And it's unfortunate, but maybe this tournament, it's everyone's last effort, everyone's last chance. Rageville's definitely got that pedigree to get into the playoffs. I do think out of the remaining people to get into the playoffs, it's Ray. I think Rageville will make it. But we'll have to see who he goes up against here in the first round. I think he's going up against Raid Baron. So, and Raid Baron is no slouch. He's been kind of here and there with NHBL this season. So, it's just hard to say. It'll be an even matchup. I think Rageville, he's definitely shown that he can definitely go far in a tournament. Will he win it? Will he at least try to go for the finals? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But I think Rageville's definitely got that. Definitely got the skill set to do so. Probably more so than any of the other guys that's vying for a playoff shot. It's really this tournament for him to lose if he doesn't get into the playoffs.
one of the beauties of the major circuits in combination with NHBL fight nights is that those who have specifically been given the fight night competitor role get first dibs after all the backups have gone through for the major circuits. And the result of that is two boxers who have come into tonight's tournament to face off against each other, Pepsi Apocalypse and Bright Boy. Now, Pepsi has already qualified for the playoffs. His last participation in the major circuits was in the Boxing Day Classic, where he ended up third place and took a 4-1 loss to Chicken. But Bright Boy has been showing his name for himself in fight nights. He just hasn't made that jump to the majors yet. He hasn't signed up for any of those tournaments. But now, on the toughest stage to try and qualify for the playoffs, and we've had some fun times with Bright Boy on some other competitive stuff. He focuses so much at whatever element of Team Fortress 2 that he's doing. It's the question of, is that focus going to overpower the playoff-bound Pepsi Apocalypse?
You know, what's remarkable about running Fight Night is able to see a lot of these boxers grow. No one has really grown as much as Bright Boy. When he first came in, he's that young kid, kind of naive about boxing. You know, I knew that when he came in, I was like, okay, he's going to have a lot to kind of work on, a lot to learn. The more he's been boxing, the more comfortable he's been in the ring. He's had great matches with the likes of Hoot Owl, the likes of Rage Will, Bax. I mean, he's had a lot of great matches. This is his time to shine. Now, on the flip side, it's Pepsi Apocalypse. Let's just say, you know, because of the Boxing Day Classic, because of the Holiday Punch rules, he was fortunate enough to get in. However, in the fight night scene, he hasn't won a fight night match. So it's very topsy-turvy. Glad he's in, but at the same time, for me personally, for all my fight night contestants, I want them to go far. I want them to achieve great heights. Haven't seen that yet, Pepsi. He's getting a lot of opportunities. He's getting there. He's definitely growing, which is definitely what Fight Night is for. Pepsi, he's already in the tournament. If he wins, he wins. If he loses, well, unfortunately he loses, but he knows that he'll have another shot come June. So Bright Boy, this is his first time. A long time coming, really. A lot of people thought he was going to be in it in the tournament before the season. He would always, you know, everyone, when we try to fill up the slots, it'd be like 3 or 4 or 5 remaining slots. Everyone would get the slots, and he would be just a second late. Like all the time, and it sucked. This time, he got an opportunity. Best case scenario for him, it's the last tournament. You know, it's really to do some damage. So we'll have to see what happens. Bright Boy's definitely capable of that. I'm very excited to see how he does in the major circuit for the first time.
And we'll get to the latter half of the round of 16 as we get through that. But one more match we do have to preview of the first 4 matches we're covering between Axeman and Spaten. A lot of people don't know this, but this is a rematch of one of the first matches of the season in the quarterfinals of the Backyard Brawl. Axeman 13 took that loss to Spaten, and that's the best result that Axeman has had throughout the majors, and this is his 5th major appearance in season 9 against a really tough spot, and since then he's had a lot to accomplish on his resume. First in the Boxing Day Classic, 3rd in the European Finals. Spaten is just working his way up the ranks. He's staying as steady of a boxer as he usually is, and he's already qualified for the playoffs, and Axeman fighting for his playoff berth here. But this could be a very statement win for Axeman if he gets a victory and a revenge against Spaten here. It's one of those situations where you want to qualify for the playoffs. You not only have to make a name for yourself in a Cinderella story, but you also have to get revenge for the loss that you took as your best result in the majors.
You know, knowing Axeman, and like you said, Spaten, he's a steady boxer. He always has been. There's no doubt about that. He's probably the most consistent boxer we have in NHBL going today. But when it comes to Axeman, knowing him, when he started out in NHBL Fight Night, he was on a tear. He was a monster. Then he went on a 4 or 5 month hiatus. He came back, and he's just not been the same. I love Axeman to death. He's a great guy, great person, personally. I want him to do very well. He's not going to have an easy time, though, against Spaten. But I will say this, though. You're right. Axeman wants to avenge his loss against Spaten at the Boxing Day Classic. or at the backyard brawl. I mean, so definitely he's looking to get revenge. Spartan's really big, I guess, for some reason, big on like Tim's, like the shoes Tim's. Well, actually wants to take those Tim's off of Spartan's feet and then shove it up his where, because that's how much Axeman wants this victory. He needs this victory. He wants to go in the playoffs. I want him to go in the playoffs. He's a very capable boxer, but Spartan is going to hurt him, and that's the bottom line. So it's not going to be easy for Axeman, but if he gets past the first round, it's going to be one of those things where Axeman's going to look back and say, hey, you know what? Maybe I can actually do this. Let's go to the playoffs. I'm ready. One of those kind of moments.
Hulk Hogan and Baxter kick it off for the ultimate matchup we're about to see between these two. And we mentioned it already about Baxter. He's made that transition from a commentator to an administrative staff member in the league to a boxer. And he's been around the game this whole season, has been able to get true aspects at any time, around at any position, any different place from around the league. He's just been able to see every department of that, and that's a really beneficial tool for him to see both sides and to get how it's going to go. As you can see, Hulkamania already taking that jump there in the practice round, but for Baxter, it's benefited him pretty well, especially since he's in the playoffs in his first season as a boxer.
Yeah, Bax is definitely. I know I faced him quite a few times in Fight Night recently with me and his beef. Luckily, we did squash that beef, but I faced him a couple times. And you know what? I can say this. I'm not a boxer by any means, but I can say this for sure. Bax is one tough cookie. And the chocolate chip kind, of course, not the raisin. Ugh. But Bax is like, you're right. He does it all. He's a commentator. He does admin stuff. He does reffing. He does, on the side. He does all this other stuff, and then he goes in boxing, and then he does well in boxing. So I mean, he's fought outside of the NHBL and won tournaments. He even beat Fluffy Teddy Bear on another server. I mean, it's crazy. But will that resonate in tonight's tournament, though? That's the big question.
It is a big question, one of the question marks. And we already talked about how Hulk Hogan, this is only his second appearance, and he took a loss to a really high tier named Chicken. And Chicken, of course, went on to win that entire tournament. So losing to the champion of the tournament you participated in isn't too much of a knock on yourself, but that's only not a knock on Hulkamania if he had participated in other tournaments this season, which he didn't. And the Skyver Community Battle Royale starts off. Both of them quick from their corners and circle around to the other sides. And Hulkamania with a jump doesn't benefit him there, but he does get a punch in on Baxter. Both of them dealing their punches in. Hulkamania a little bit down on the punch as Baxter's trying to get something in, circling around the edges of the circle logo. Hulkamania trying to get some more punches in with a jump, but it's not going to matter because Baxter takes the first round after a several punch advantage.
Yeah, it's interesting. We were wondering how jumping would play into effect. Maybe think that most boxers want to do it. Baxter didn't do it, but Hulkamania going right in with it with the jumps. So it doesn't prove to work too well. But we'll have to see how jumping affects the whole entire tournament. It's interesting.
Round two, Baxter with a 1-0 advantage. Hulkamania quick with the jumps out, but it's not helping him as Baxter gets two punches in there, trying to get a sneaky move there. Hulkamania on the ropes. Baxter trying to get something in. He's got a one-punch advantage here, getting another one dealt in. Hulkamania trying to get through, and Baxter 2-0 on the win. He goes on to the next round, either against Razz, Dazzler, or Metro.
Yeah, it was a pretty interesting matchup there. Hulkamania trying to use his jumping for his benefit there, but unfortunately his jumping just he when he tried to jump, he punched too late, so it just didn't work out very well at all. But unfortunately though, for Hulkamania, he's eliminated. He will not be making the playoffs. However, Bax will be moving on to the second round, so we'll have to see who he faces next round. So far, pretty solid action going on here in the Battle Royale. I do say so myself.
And Baxter faces off against Razz, Dazzler, or Metro, two heavy boxers looking to qualify for the playoffs. Unfortunately, Hulkamania just missing the mark in this one. Next matchup for the tournament, one that is really interesting. Rage Will and Raid. And Rage Will, as you mentioned on on the top of the broadcast, both of the, at least Rage Will specifically, he's been around the league for a long time. He's been around for several seasons. He's been working hard, trying to get in. But what we've more seen from Rage Will, unfortunately, is the rage side of Rage Will. He's had a lot of frustration throughout his losses in the tournaments. He hasn't been able to get past the second round except for in the Boxing Day Classic. But this is the time for Rage Will to show that his training has paid off. This is the time for him to fully immerse himself, not in the rage sense of losing, but in the rage sense of winning, being so frustrated from the season's results and getting ready to go on to the playoffs. This is his time to make a point.
Yeah, for sure. Ray Baron, he is he'll be his first showing this term, I believe. So it'll be interesting for him. A late in backup. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes. We're just having some interference. I think Rage will decide to do the kill bind, even though he wasn't supposed to. Thank you, Rage will. Now I have to talk longer, because I'm sure the crowd would love me to talk longer. But no, it'll be a pretty cool match. Two friends. I mean, these guys. It's been a long time since these guys boxed. So seeing these guys box now, again, it's been a while. So it is interesting to see that kind of dynamic. But I mean, this match can go either way. It is such an even matchup. Similar style, similar way they play. That the big difference, though, is ping. Ray Baron has a lot of ping. Ragewell doesn't have a lot of ping. It can go either way.
The ping certainly makes a difference, because you look at the difference between the two. If it'll let me tab and use, I have the same bind here on Shift Tab, unfortunately. There we go. So you look at the difference between the two: 102 for Raid Baron on ping advantage and 41 for Rage Will. That's 60 difference. It can make a difference in there, but that's why the practice rounds exist for both heavy boxers, to get used to the rubber banding, get used to the different effects that happen. And that works especially to more so to Rage Will's advantage, because against a European, the rubber banding can have an effect. Effect worse than not, but it's with one warm-up round left. And again, Rage Will, just throughout the season, he's had his frustration. He's been trying to have his big breakout and get into the playoffs, and it looks like this is his time to shine.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be, right? I mean, so we keep saying it, but it's going to be the last tournament of the season, obviously. That he has to break out. Like I said, the person to break out the most has got to be Rage Will. I mean, he definitely has that ability to do so. His first round's against Raid Baron. It ain't going to be an easy one, for sure, but it'll definitely be entertaining. Make sure you guys stay tuned and watch, because this is going to be a very even matchup that I won't be surprised goes into a tiebreak.
Start of the match between Rage Will and Raid Baron. Raid Baron aggressive on the punching, but Rage Will's not going to have any of it. Almost goes completely unscathed. Rage Will, with half of his health remaining, takes the first round.
Yeah, that was really aggressive. I mean, Raid Baron was not holding anything. As soon as he heard that bell ring, he sprinted off to the races. Unfortunately, that finish line was a fist by Rage Will, and it didn't go too well. But it was very aggressive. I almost tried to take Rage Will off balance, but I think Raid Baron missed his punch on that one hit. So it went in Rage Will's favor. It's Rage Will's up 1-0 in this one, and Raid Baron might have the same strategy, or he might just change it up. We'll have to see.
Now round two with Rage Will's advantage, but there is a penalty issued by Spogo with this firing of the shot. But he's saying continue on with the round.
Keep going.
Now Rage Will allowed a sandwich and no call.
And punches by both heavy boxers. Rage Will a little bit down on the ropes with Raid Baron. He calls for help, and Raid Baron corners him. That's currently a 1-1 tie, but we have to see what the announcement is from Spogo.
Penalty on blue boxers. Pulled out his sandwich during the round. We will have to void it. So it is still 1-0 for the red.
Voided by the pull of a sandwich, and tied was originally tied, has now turned to Rage Will, coming out with the aggression again and gets the 2-0 sweep. Rage Will moving on to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, that shows you what penalties are for. You can't pull out your sandwich during play there, and unfortunately he gets penalized. But of course, Rage will then pull out a sandwich, and that wasn't called. But in the end, it doesn't matter. I know there's a lot of confusion, but still, rules are rules. Should have probably got a penalty on that, but it didn't matter in the end anyways, because in the end, Ray Baron is the loser in this one. Rage will be moving on to the next round, and he'll be going after who I guess we'll have to wait and find out. But yeah, it'll be interesting. It's so far so good tournament. We've seen jumping, we've seen a penalty, and what else are we going to see? Freaking people doing cartwheels going down the entrance, probably. I mean, knowing the boxers, probably.
We'd already have some boxers peeking out on the entrance, especially in blue. They're loving to see the matchups and see who they'll potentially face off against. All the blue boxers and some of the red guys peeking out on the ramps is really, really cool to see. As Rage Will moves on, he's one step closer to possibly qualifying for the playoffs, but he's got a tough road in the next match against either Space Vegemite or Chicken in the second round. Third matchup, Pepsi Apocalypse and Bright Boy. Now, these are two heavy boxers that we've seen have decent skill, not just in fight nights, but in the major circuits. But in terms of Pepsi Apocalypse, this is only his second major appearance, and he managed to qualify by getting third place in the Boxing Day Classic. So it's going to be interesting to see how Pepsi Apocalypse performs here, because, of course, there's a lot of question around whether or not the current playoff system is the right way to get people into the playoffs, and if a lot of people saying Pepsi Apocalypse maybe shouldn't be in the postseason. But at the end of the day, he put up one round against Chicken, and he managed to get to the super semis for a reason, even if it's the Boxing Day Classic. So the question is, what does his performance tonight define if Pepsi Apocalypse should be a playoff competitor?
Definitely. A lot of people have been saying, well, Sins, he didn't win a match in Fight Night. You're absolutely right. Did I think, looking at his stats and his play style recently, do I think he deserves in the finals? I'm gonna have to give you an honest answer. Probably not. But because of the rule sets that the major circuits have, it ain't not like Fight Night. With major circuit, you have different rule sets, and he did get in. But tonight, if this is standard rules for the most part, killing gloves and boxing, the only thing is jumping. But yeah, he's going up against Bright Boy. It's a tough match. I mean, ping difference, if you want to say about that, that's a big thing. It's going to be a hard match for him to fight in. But if he beats Bright Boy already, that can kind of tell me, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, he deserves to be in the finals. But he's got a lot to prove, especially for everyone else who thinks the way that I just kind of said.
And the interesting thing about Bright Boy and Pepsi Apocalypse here, as you've seen, they had jumps. They're more hesitant on their strategies and trying to use their jumps not in an aggressive style like Hulk Hogan did, but they're trying to use it in a defensive style to jump backwards and avoid those punches, which can be used to the advantage, but really depends on how well it is executed, as both of them keep jumping behind and going back from each other. So it's really interesting to see if that's going to be how the actual match plays out. But both of them are very passive, so we may see a very defensive heavy match coming up.
And if that's the case, it's going to be a lot different than the matches we have seen. We saw some pretty aggressive matches. Of course, hopefully we won't see a turtle fest, but at the same time, like you said, Fedor, you said it perfectly, just like with anything else you say. It is, you want to jump back. It's a defensive maneuver. We saw Hulkamania do it as an aggressive maneuver. It just didn't work as well as maybe he wanted to. I think it still does have potential to do some damage if used correctly. You know what? Before we start the match, I have a small little story. So back in my old group at the CL, we had a boxer. His name was Jaguar. He was our first ever luchador. He jumped, because jumping and crouching was legal. He'd jump on the turnbuckles and pounce down onto his opponents in the ring. I'm just saying, if anybody does that in this tournament at all, I will give you a craft hat. I'm just saying. I would love to see someone jump on the top rope and try to fight someone. But let's be real here. Jumping can play a factor in both defensive and aggressive. We've seen aggressive, and it looks like we're going to see a little bit more defensively. So either way, we're going to see, and plus two, for the boxers that are watching, they're going to see how these players use the jumping technique. Like, oh, well, that ain't going to work, or maybe that will work. It's just going to make everyone better in the end, you think.
And start of the matchup between Bright Boy and Pepsi Apocalypse. Both of them hesitant, again, seeing more defensive strategies. Bright Boy just jumping backwards, jumping a little bit to the side. Both of them just enjoying their jumping strategy. And Bright Boy just trying a little bit of an intimidation factor with those jumps. As both of them.
Just jumping.
What was that?
You find any action, they're just jumping around thinking this is a pogo contest. Well, it isn't. It's not a pogo contest. It's a fighting.
Yeah. just because Spogo's name has pogo in it, that does not mean it is a pogo contest for sure. Both of these guys still just jumping around. Bright Boy trying to be a little more aggressive at finding the punch, and he gets the first punch dealt in. Pepsi Apocalypse trying to deal it back to him, but Bright Boy getting the advantage. He's on the ropes and gets the first round victory.
Yeah, that was interesting. Bright Boy definitely was trying to be more aggressive towards the end there, and it proved to be a wise decision. Pepsi Apocalypse just trying to stay back, try to be a little bit more defensive. I think it was kind of a bit too defensive for Pepsi there, but like I said, yeah, you're right. I think they used the jumping a little bit more of an intimidation than they did with the than just with the boxing. So we'll see if their strategies might change a little bit, as I think Pepsi Apocalypse is trying to trim his toenails or something. So we guess we'll have to wait for him until he gets into the ring here. But yeah, so far so good with the matches so far. I've been pleased with the jumping so far. Interesting strategies all around when it comes to jumping. It's not normal. A lot of boxers aren't trained for it, so it's always interesting to see how they implement it into their ordinary game.
And the bell rings, a 1-0 advantage for Bright Boy as Pepsi tries to stay cornered to the ropes and prepare him, trying to be a little bit more passive as usual. Both of them continuing the jumping. As someone mentioned in the text chat and server, National Heavy Bouncing League, we might have to look into something like that. Maybe make the ring floor an actual trampoline. Something we could definitely look forward to. You talk about rubber banding in between European and American boxers. That would be even worse. Bright Boy gets the first few punches in. Pepsi trying to deal it back, but Bright Boy just punches his way into the second round.
You know, with all that punching, you would almost think this is a grounding and pounding contest, but I can assure you that it's not a grounding and pounding contest. It's a pogo contest, or not a pogo contest, a boxing contest. Yeah, I forget. But Bright Boy, he did able to get that last punch in. Very aggressive, more aggressive than the last round. Pepsi Apocalypse just could not answer anything that Bright Boy was throwing down. So Bright Boy, he moves on to the next round. He's bettering his odds of getting into the finals, which is definitely the goal in mind, other than just winning the tournament. So far, so good for Bright Boy in his first tournament.
Been a fantastic performance, and he will face off against either Comfy Len or Punchy Boyo in the next round. Next matchup we've got is in between Axeman 13 and we've already been over this. Axeman 13, he's trying to get revenge for the farthest he's gone in a tournament, and that was all the way back in October when he took his loss to Spaten in the quarterfinals. He's been in 3 other tournaments since then. This is his 5th major appearance, but as you've seen primarily through fight nights, he's getting better. He's putting forth decent efforts and trying to make a name for himself. But it's just in the majors, he hasn't had that much luck, and that's a testament to how competitive the competition space is now.
You know what? The competition is just so fierce anymore. You know, me and you, we were just talking about it before we went on air a couple hours ago. You know, we were just talking about the landscape of NHBL, and it really is just it's so amusing because we were just saying like Ice won the tournament 2 years in a row. This year would be more difficult than ever because we have someone like Axeman, we have someone like Spaten who's still in the running. There's so many good boxers now in this season, and you want credit to Fight Night, sure. I'll take all the credit, but seriously though, Axeman, he's definitely got room to grow. When he first came into NHBL, I'm like, oh my god, this guy's the next big thing. He dropped off a little bit. He's starting to gain some ground now. I'm in Fight Night. This is his opportunity. If he defeats Spaten, I'll just say it right here. If he defeats Spaten in the first round, with the warm-ups not looking too bad, it's pretty even. If Axeman defeats Spaten in the first round, throw anything else at Axeman in this tournament, because if he can defeat Spaten, he has a good chance of going far in this tournament and possibly qualifying for the finals.
Start off for between Axeman 13 and Spottin', both of them staying on. Axeman getting a little bit of a jump in there, trying to get something going, and swing and a miss on the first punch. Spot manages to deal it back to him. Axeman trying to get something going, but Spottin', with only 2 punches to give, takes the first round.
Yeah, that was a lot more one-sided for Spottin' than I originally thought it was going to be. Spottin's just so solid. Like we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Spottin has been one of the most consistent boxers in NHBL right now, and that shows. You know, a lot of people might think like, oh well, it's Spottin. You know, he's definitely lost it. Nah, he hasn't lost it. He's still as good as he.
So 1-0 advantage for Spottin' as Axeman trying to keep on hope for his playoff qualification. Spottin' comes flying in with a curve punch. It's not going to matter as Spottin' with the curve punch hasn't had to use the gator roll yet. 2-0. He's advancing on.
Wow, that was an impressive showing by Spottin'. It was just remarkable of how Spottin' can still, like you say, he didn't have to use his trademark gator roll. So you know that's really important for him to even for all the boxers watching. He doesn't have to use his trademark move to win. But Axeman personally, I wanted him to go far in this tournament, but there's always next season, and he's still going to train and do a lot better in fight night. So he's got a tremendous ceiling he needs to reach. As for Spottin', just another day in the office for Spottin'. So he's going to move on to the next round.
Live again from the NHBL Superdome in Chicago. Warm-up rounds coming up here. So Razz Dazzler is actually 10 minutes away from his home as he's traveling back from visiting family. So we will have his match later in the tournament to accommodate for that. So Punchy Boyo and Comfy Len is the match we have moved up for that purpose. Now you look in between these two boxers. Punchy Boyo, will start with him. He lost in the fisticuffs 3-0 to Fluffy Teddy Bear. This is only his second major appearance, but he did qualify for the playoffs last tournament. So Punchy Boyo coming in on the latter half of the season. He's been in, I believe he was in Season 8, maybe in Season 7. But he's been around for a while. He's trying to qualify. He's trying to get decent time going, and he's just one of those boxers who's managed to get into the playoffs, but he's trying to make a better name for himself here in the Battle Royale.
Yeah, for sure. Punchy Boyo is a name that's been around for a little while for NHBL. Comfy Len, on the other hand, is a name that we've only been hearing as of recently, the past few months. He's the current reigning and defending Natasha Heavyweight Champion, and he's looking to become the Sasha Heavyweight Champion at the end of the day. Well, at the end of the finals, anyways. He's already qualified, obviously, making a big however you want to say, a remarkable career so far early. I mean, I think now he's been boxing for close to 6 months now, so still kind of a rookie though, becoming the Natasha Heavyweight Champion, and also becoming a Fight Night champion for a little over a month. So the kid's done it a lot already, and he's going to go into the playoffs vying for another championship. But before that though, he's going to have to face a hungry Punchy Boyo. I think what you said, that Punchy Boyo isn't in the finals yet. So
he is.
He is? Okay, well then, same thing though. Both boxers, they still just want to win no matter if they're in the playoffs or not. So, I mean, hey, they're just playing for the spoils now. They already made it, but now they just want more.
So 1-0 advantage for Comfy Len. Punchy Boyo trying to match it up to tie it. As Punchy Boyo tries to get the punch in. Nobody has forced it to the third round in the round of 16 thus far, but if anyone could do it, it's Punchy Boyo. As Comfy Len tries getting the punches in. He's got an advantage, tries dealing it back with the spin, but can't get the punch off. And Punchy Boyo ties it up, the first of the round of 16 matches to go to the third round.
Well, it's about time they decide to make it interesting. It's such an even matchup. I think a lot more even than what a lot of people think. People thought that Comfy Len will just beat the crap out of his opponent, but actually that's not the case. Punchy Boyo is giving it to his all. He's matching Comfy Len's abilities, and he's bringing it and forced a tie. And now he can make a little small comeback, but a comeback nonetheless.
This might not be the only one that gets forced to a third round, but 1 round to advance you to face off against Bright Boy in the quarterfinals. Punchy Boyo down on the ropes trying to get the punches in. Comfy Len deals it back. Punchy Boyo trying to go in carefully, and how about that spin move? Comfy Len is moving on.
That spin move thing is a trademark of Fight Night. I'm going to trademark it because everyone in Fight Night's doing the spin move as a meme move. This is one of the rare times, and Comfy Len could do the best. And so does Big Boy, because Big Boy Lethal invented the move. But Comfy Len can do it the best. The spin move is, I guess now, a bona fide actual strat in this game. I wouldn't have thought of that. But Comfy Len was able to not able to get Punchy Boy too much space in the ring. Was able to kind of to compress him there, be aggressive, and it works. And hey, Comfy Len's moving on to the next round. And Punchy Boyle would just have to wait for the finals before he can box again.
And again, Punchy Boyle will be competing in the NHBL finals going into June. Who he's going to match up against, that's determined by the match selection in May. But Comfy Len, congratulations to him. He's facing off against Bright Boy later tonight in the quarterfinals. And here's the match I was alluding to that might very well go. This one might very well go to the 3rd round between Space Vegemite and Chicken. Both of these heavy boxers, the storylines you know from both of them, if you follow the NHBL at all. You just look at, Chicken won the Backyard Brawl, was 2nd in the Boxing Day Classic by 1 round of spotting, and he's participated in every tournament in Season 9. Chicken not only has dedication, but the question that people have right now is Chicken on a downslide? Is Chicken having issues with trying to get better at his craft because he hasn't been able to excuse me, let me get Spogo's watching over in the booth. He'll be down in a second as they start their warm-up rounds, but Chicken has the question people have for him is he in a downslide because he won the Backyard Brawl, he lost in the quarterfinals to Sandvich in the Clash, he made it to the Boxing Day Classic and was 2nd. The European finals, he of course got eliminated, and he was not participating in the fisticuffs to my knowledge, or if he did, he didn't make it past the 2nd round. So it's very tough to see. It's very tough to see if Chicken's on that downward slide or not. So it's very interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, and I made the comment too that Chicken, he's already qualified for the playoffs. You could just be like, you know what? I'm already in the playoffs. I've already won so many tournaments in the past. I got keys out the wazoo. I got unusuals out the wazoo. By the way, if you're looking for unusuals, Chicken will not be afraid to just bind them all and just copy and paste them like 4 or 5 times in a row into the chat. He already did it. But like Chicken, he's already won so many. He's thinking, well, you know what? I'm just going to go in the playoffs. I'm just going to kind of ride it because in the playoffs, then you'll see the Chicken that I think everyone will know. Now, if that's for certain, is that for certain? No. But tonight he's going up against Space Vegemite, a boxer, another European boxer, 2 European boxers going at it. It's going to be entertaining. These guys know each other very well. This should be an entertaining fight.
So what's going on right now is there was an update in the rule book that was clearly communicated about warm-up. So Spogo just giving the rundown to Chicken, and of course by the rules it's just a warning going into the actual match. So they're heading back to the warm-up rounds there. But in terms of Space Vegemite, you're right, they both know each other. But one of the big things as well is that Space Vegemite, he's been on an upward path. The complete opposite of Chicken. He won the Clash against Fluffy Teddy Bear. He lost by 2 rounds in the Natasha Heavyweight Championship to Comfy Len, and then he got revenge against Comfy Len in the fisticuffs and got the W. So that's one of the big questions here for Space Vegemite is where is this a continually rising mountain for him to get to the very top in the playoffs, or is it just waiting to go straight down?
You know what? If you ask Space Vegemite, he's going to go up into space. Get it? Because that's his name. And he wants to. He's done a lot. And I think the match against Comfy Len for the Natasha Heavyweight Championship in the European Finals, that irked him. That irked him a lot. I can tell you that. So he wants to win the Natasha Heavyweight Championship. As you see Chicken here, just jumping. Maybe we'll see that in this match. But Yeah, Space Vegemite, I mean, he wants to win it all. Who doesn't want to win it all? If you're in the NHBL just to fight, just to have fun, you're doing it wrong. I mean, you want to have fun, but you also want to win. Space Vegemite is definitely one of the guys that just wants to win, win, win. And if you won't win, he doesn't like it. And I think he's definitely he's definitely someone you got to watch out in this tournament. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Before we start, Chicken's penalty warning for crouching during warm-ups.
Round one between the two powerhouses between Space Vegemite and Chicken. The punches being thrown by both. Space Vegemite coming out with the aggression. Chicken trying to get some more punches in there, trying to deal him back in, and gets it. Chicken, with 2 punches to give, takes the first round.
Yeah, you notice Chicken in the warm-ups was kind of, having fun, doing what he does. And here we saw what Chicken can do when he's on his game. Maybe took Space a little bit off by surprise there, but so far good showing by Chicken. Space Vegemite did keep it close for the most part. So it's not all the question that you're right. Maybe Space could win this one and get into a tie, but Chicken's looking good so far. So we'll have to see how this next matchup plays out.
Simi?
The bells. As the bell ringer says hello to Razz, Space Vegemite jumps in, gets the first aggressive punch, trying to deal it back to Chicken, swing and miss in the air. Both of them evenly on their punches. Space Vegemite manages to go around his back, but doesn't get the punch in. Chicken with another punch, and Chicken is moving on to collide with Rage Will in the second round.
Chicken just annihilates Spogo. Yeah, that was a pretty good matchup, and you know what? You got to feel for you just hate to see it. Space Vegemite had such a good opportunity to hit Chicken in the back, missed, and now Chicken's going to be moving on into the next round. You know what? Good for him. Chicken is definitely a worthy opponent. He looks to be on his game so far.
Sorry, since I'm gonna have to interrupt you. There's a
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, it looks to be a dispute.
dispute from Space Vegemite has been reviewed. Considering the ping of both boxers coming from Europe on an American server, there's bound to be some things we can't really deal with. And, well, the punch looked fine to me, so the dispute.
So, the ruling in the ring stands. Chicken advances 2-0 over Space Vegemite. And Chicken will face off against Rage Will. Regardless of who Rage Will would have faced off against, who came out of that match, Rage Will is probably punching the walls right now, trying to prepare for Chicken's quick aggression. But that's going to be an interesting quarterfinal to see for sure. And we go to match number 7 between Razz, Dazzler, and Metro. Took a lot of effort for both of these boxers to get in here, a lot of effort for them to get prepared, and it's time for the man himself all the way from Europe against the man himself here in the United States. And you look at both of them. Razz Dazzler, of course, the closest he has gotten, this is his 3rd time that he has been in a major circuit tournament. He lost in the Clash 2-1 against Chicken, and he lost 2-1 in the European Finals against Spot. So with Razz Dazzler, it's that he hasn't appeared that much in the major circuits, but he's been fantastic on the fight night scene. But mix that, he's been faced off against really good boxers in the first round. So I think for Razz to put one round up against major boxers like that, they're both very fantastic competitors, and it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, for sure. And Razz Dazzler, he was actually recently banned in Fight Night because he was just so good. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't want Razz to go down in history to be like that boxer that should have did it but never did. I think he's definitely got the skill set to do so. I think he's been kind of put unfair a little bit. We'll have to see. Now he's going up against Metro, so we could have the same thing. And I think Metro is having an error on his end, so Metro's going to have to reconnect to the server. He says he's... it's good now? There we go. So, I think they're going to get ready for their warm-up. So, yeah, Razz is once again going up against someone who is a tough opponent and right in the first round. Metro, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. He's been season 1. He's fought against like Retro, Irish and Bear, Port. We all know who Metro is. We all know what kind of guy he is.
Yeah, you can leave it on the table.
So it'll be a pretty interesting matchup between these two. Hopefully Razz can get over that first round slump. He definitely wants to be in the finals, and if he gets past Metro, it'll be a really good chance. Then I think in his corner it'll be easier to be in the finals if everything goes well. So we'll see how it goes. Razz is looking pretty solid so far in the warm up. So so far so good, but we'll have to wait until the actual tournament, the actual matches start.
And looking at the way the bracket is playing out right now, it's going to be interesting because it looks like because of the qualifications, we're going to announce at the quarterfinals who's qualified for the playoffs. Which looking like how the bracket is playing out, it looks like it does apply. But at the end of the day, these guys are trying to win a tournament. But I tell you what, whoever wins this match, it's basically critical for them to get into a playoff qualification. I can tell you that much. But for Metro as well, he's been around since season 2. The closest he's gotten to winning a tournament was the European finals last season when he lost to he lost to Retro. Both of them very close. Both of them in very close situations. It's just one of those things where Metro is looking for that first tournament win. He's looking for his first claim to glory. Bell has rung. Both these heavy boxers trying to get into a playoff spot as Razz punches Metro. Both of them about even, circling around the fist in the NHBL logo. Get the punches in, and Razz Dazzler gets the first round victory.
That was a very important victory by Razz Dazzler. Definitely needs to get the first victory over Metro in this one. He needs to, because like I said, Razz Dazzler, it's do or die for him. He has a lot of high expectations. This might be the tournament where he can actually get into the finals at least and do some damage in this tournament. And already 1-0 against someone like Metro is definitely a good start.
Round 2, Razz has the advantage over Metro. First punch dealt in by by Razz, dealt in onto Metro as both of them getting the circling around again. Razz trying to get something, and Metro gets the second round victory. It is tied 1-1.
Wow, that looked pretty good from Razz. It looked like he maybe had Metro on the edge there, but Metro was able to get the upper hand in that one. And he's able to tie it up now. It is now a tied game, and it makes it a little bit more interesting for Razz. He's a little bit more on the hot seat now. We'll have to see. This is do or die for Razz.
You've never seen somebody compliment a referee in that sort of sense.
He's trying to bribe him. Don't listen. He's trying to bribe you, Simi. Don't listen.
Don't listen. Both of them at half health. Who's going to possibly get to the playoffs? It's down to the final thing. Metro is headed on to face off against Baxter. He's one step closer to the playoffs.
Bax is now officially rolling in his grave, and he's not even dead yet. Bax hates fighting European guys, and he is going to hate fighting Metro in the next round. But more important, that's later. Let's focus on right now. Razz Dazzler loses in the first round again. Oh, you hate to see it. But, however, Metro moves on. Metro, his one tournament that he was supposed to be in, the European finals, he unfortunately missed that opportunity. Good for him to come to this tournament. A person like him definitely deserves to be in a tournament like this, vying for a playoff shot. But man, what a good match. But Razz was so close and just yet so far.
Bagel, he's in his third major appearance. He's still in the high tier of boxers. Everyone thought, season 7, he was going to win the playoffs. It was either that or season 8, but then he had to drop out of the playoffs due to personal reasons. But now he's back in season 9. He was third in the backyard brawl. He lost to the now staff member, Big Boy Lethal, in the super semis, and then went fourth in the Boxing Day Classic, losing to the eventual champion of that tournament spot. And so he's got a very Egyptian Bagel had that high standard for him, and he's still on that high standard. But it's been very interesting to see how he's performed throughout the season.
Yeah, it really shows. Both of these boxers have been stellar so far. Bagel, he's still that great boxer that everyone knows he can be. But Koopa King, look what as Koopa King dies. I was just about to praise him. Gosh darn it! But you see that? You see that belt hanging around Koopa King's waist? That's the Ironclad Championship. He just recently beat our Fight Night member Hoot Owl for it. So things are going up and up for Koopa King. He's looking to do some damage in this tournament. Quick question: is Koopa King in the playoffs?
Yes, he is. He qualified last tournament. It's the same situation that happened. Those who have already qualified for the playoffs were in the tournament and got to the Elite Eight. That's how Koopa King, Baxter, and Punchy Boyle got to.
That's right. That's what I figured. I didn't want to spread false information to the people that are watching, but yeah, Koopa King already qualified for the playoffs. He's the current Ironclad Championship, which is our secondary title in Fight Night. Really a good boxer, really a good person. Bax is really high on him. A lot of people are really high on him. So, he's going up against Bagel. Probably Koopa King's one of Koopa King's toughest opponents. I wish good luck to both of these. And Koopa King, if he wants to beat Bagel, a veteran at this point, you know what? He's going to have to fire on all cylinders because Bagel isn't going to go down easily.
And Comfy Len ringing the bell. It's round one between Bagel and Koopa King. Bagel with the big jumps. Koopa gets the first punch in, deals it back to Bagel. Koopa King trying to get some more punches. Bagel just trying to intimidate him here, but not taking any of that. Bagel, with one punch to give, does not take any of Koopa King's trash talk. It's 1-0.
Koopa King definitely tried to dodge. He tried to get out of dodge, but really, in reality, he just got punched. But unfortunately for Koopa King, he tried to dodge that last hit. He realized he was kind of in worse for wear. Last-ditch effort just did not work in his favor. Bagel, though, he's a steady, well-oiled machine, and he's up 1-0 so far.
1-0 advantage already for Bagel as he jumps around trying to intimidate Koopa King. Can't get the first punch in. That's Koopa King who deals it to him. Bagel trying to get in a jumping, diving punch. Bagel on the ropes. Punch, and Koopa King is facing off against Spottin in the second round.
Woo! Good Lord. What a matchup that has been. Koopa King's moving on, or was that a tie?
You know,
it was a tie.
It is a tie. It is a tie. I wondered why why the scoreboard said 1-0 there. Not many times that you hear a mistake from the Fedora man, but a tie with that, an intense round regardless.
Hey, real quick though, Koopa King did really well in that matchup, and he was able to get into Bagel's grill, and not the good kind of grill that you go in and cook out for, but no, a grill that was punched in heavily by Koopa King, and the crowd is supporting him in the back. It is not tied 1-1. You're okay, Fedora. It's fine.
I think Spogo's mental stability is deteriorating. There is a shot, though.
That's a false start. Be careful with your movements. Yeah, that's a warning. Do over. Bagel, are you ready?
Oh, here we go.
I'll just take it. Send the bell.
I think Spogo's mental stability is deteriorating. Final tiebreaker round, as I incorrectly called it.
His mental stability is about as effective as your mental stability anytime it's with me.
That is very much true. 2 punches for Bagel to give, 2 punches for Koopa to give. Final punches! Bagel is moving on against Spottin!
Oh my goodness! So Koopa King, so close, but Bagel was able to get the last punch in. That first and last punch is just so crucial in boxing. We say it all over all the time. Koopa King, though, a valiant effort. To think that he's going up really about such an even fight with Bagel. Koopa King going up with someone like Bagel, going as far as he did, that's impressive in itself. So good job for Koopa King for making it interesting, for making it close. But Bagel is your winner. He'll be moving on to the next round. As for Koopa King, we'll see him in the finals.
Warm-up rounds between Bright Boy and Comfy Len. Both of these heavy boxers been fantastic with their performance throughout the night. Of course, for Comfy Len, we already talked about it. He won the Natasha Heavyweight Championship against Space Vegemite. Just the incredible upset he had over Chicken in the second round and all that. I mean, just Comfy Len is a fantastic boxer. In his 4th major appearance, he's already on the verge of making it to the super semis tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting storylines here. Bright Boy being able to qualify now in his first tournament, so that's always good to see. Comfy Len, who Comfy Len and Bright Boy, they've met a couple times in Fight Night. Both European boxers, so their ping is going to be somewhat similar. So either way, it's going to be from what I hope to see is a pretty even match. People that are watching on the stream or watching here live, as with boxers and all that stuff, are just seeing Bright Boy for the first time, the boxer in red. Seeing him in Fight Night, he's a great boxer. Definitely a very underrated boxer in the NHBL system. Now finally getting his moment to shine. Now everyone's going to see how well of a boxer he can do, and I think a lot of people are going to be impressed with what he can do in the ring.
For sure, they're going to see that impression. And again, Bright Boy in his first major appearance, you mentioned it, he's had some great moments in Fight Night, and you look at his competitor as well with Comfy Len because of how successful he's been, especially with getting 2nd place in the fisticuffs, and that was because Space Vegemite got revenge on him and managed to only give 3 rounds to him as opposed to 4. So it was a big amount of revenge that Space Vegemite had there, but that doesn't mean there's a downhill slide for Comfy Len. It just means that the only place for him to go from there is up.
Yeah, and I don't think Comfy Len's slowing down at any rate. As we've seen in the past couple tournaments and just with Fight Night recently. I mean, he lost his Fight Night championship to, well, the returning White Russian Bear of all people. I mean, that's not really a knock at him at all. But Comfy Len, he's still wanting to hold gold. He was comfy 2 belts before he lost the Fight Night championship. He wants to regain. Was there ever a boxer that won the Sash Heavyweight Championship and the Toss Heavyweight Championship? Because if not,
No.
then Comfy Len might make history. And you know what? I wouldn't doubt that at all.
It's now best 3 out of 5 in the quarterfinals between Bright Boy and Comfy Len as they both get their even meeting at the center of the ring. Bright Boy with the first punch on Comfy Len, gets a second one in. Comfy Len trying to deal him back, gets some punches in, getting him down, and he was down several punches. Comfy Len was on the ropes and then managed to make it back, and he's got a 1-0 lead against Bright Boy.
Yeah, that was a pretty aggressive showing there for Comfy Len's adversary there, Bright Boy. And you know what? It proved to work here in the beginning, but Comfy Len changed up his strategy on the fly. Even back against the ropes, he still managed to come back on that one. So pretty impressive there by Comfy Len. It's 1-0 in his favor.
1-0 advantage for Comfy Len. Bright Boy just gets the punches dealt evenly back by Comfy Len. Swing and a miss. Comfy Len has the advantage. Punches in, trying to deal him in. Comfy Len swinging and missing. Bright Boy gets a tie there to make it 1-1.
Ooh, man, this is, like I said, both boxers know each other pretty well. Both European boxers, bred in Fight Night. Yeah, I mean, from one guy, they're both really good at just trying to block their opponent and just try to bring out a punch of their own. Try to dodge, attack. And both boxers are doing pretty well for that. It's a really even matchup. It's tied 1-1. I mean, you can't get better than this.
It's now essentially best 2 out of 3 now as it's tied up 1-1. Both boxers hesitant in their first punch, dealt evenly by both. Dealt evenly again, make that 3 even punches. Down to 2 hits to give by each. It's coming down to the final punch, and Bright Boy deals it in 2-1 advantage.
Another final punch situation between these two boxers, and let me just tell you this, that Bright Boy, he's definitely want to make a mark up for himself. Like I said, a lot of people were probably seeing him for the first time. He's like, wow, he's really fighting Comfy Len pretty hard. I mean, that's pretty shocking, this new guy, but he ain't new. He's just been fighting in Fight Night for a good while. Him and Comfy had some pretty good battles down in Fight Night. Hey, it's 2-1 Bright Boy. Comfy Len, he's itching to try to tie it back up once again.
2-1 advantage.
So I'm so used to doing play-by-play, but like both boxers are so quick and ready. Oh, look at that spin move!
Spin move by Bright Boy, just incredible. Gets a punch in there on Comfy Len. He's doing the spinning again. We might see some trickery by one or the other, but Comfy Len's got to do something. He gets a swing and a miss in the air. Comfy Len trying to land a punch in there. And Bright Boy pulls off the upset. He's moving on to the super semi.
I keep telling you guys, Bright Boy, he's a true contender. Compuland, he's one of my favorite boxers to head into the finals, and Bright Boy just beat him 3-1, clean as a whistle. I can't whistle, so I'm not going to provide an example, but you get what I'm saying. Thank you, Simi. So, Bright Boy, he's going to move on to the next round. Compuland, unfortunately, and Compuland in chat saying double phantom, but he's not going to do a dispute, it looks like. He's just going to let that slide. But hey, Bright Boy moves on to the next round. Good for him. I have high hopes for Bright Boy in the future. But it looks like that future is now. He's moving on into the semifinals, so good for him. Good for him.
Very good for him indeed. He will face off against either Baxter or Metro tomorrow night. And now into the next of the quarterfinals. It's a big matchup between Rage Will and Chicken. This is one of those situations, Sins, and you and I have been around the game a long time for heavy boxing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've had another. I think we've had some situations like this, but in recent memory, this is the biggest David and Goliath scenario. And look at Goliath initiating the high five with David. Essentially, this is a David and Goliath story where Chicken. He's been on a downslide, but runner-up for the Sasha Heavyweight Championship last year. Between that and Rage Will just being incredibly skilled in his maneuvers. I mean, it's one of those situations where it's just going to come down to, can David drive the stone through the skull of Goliath, or will the giant just tower over and get through?
I knew a David once. But anyways, so Rage Will, he's going to be, it's definitely a hard match to overcome against Chicken. Chicken has been doing really well. We saw how dominant he was in his last match, and it just shows that he's. And here's the thing, and this is what we're watching now. Chicken is memeing. He's using the jump, and here's a nice little tidbit I don't think anyone thought of. Chicken is using the jumping in a way that I don't think anyone has thought of. Using it in the warm-up so that to get by the warm-up so that the player he's going up against has no idea what his strat is. I mean, that's freaking ingenious and freaking downright evil. And because when the match starts, we saw in the last round, Chicken didn't jump at all, just bowed. So that's not a bad strat. I have to say that myself, to kind of fool his opponent there in the warm-ups. Just get by the warm-ups, then in the match, you have no idea what Chicken's going to do.
Round one, Chicken, as there is a penalty call.
False start on Blue Boxers.
Warning given on the false start by Chicken as both of them charge out from their corners. Rage Will gets the first punch in. Chicken quickly dealing back the aggression. Rage Will tries getting it in, and it's a miss in the air, but he managed. Chicken got the punch and forced it to one, but Rage Will with the quick counter has got the 1-0 advantage.
You're telling me Chicken missed a punch? Okay, what timeline are we in? Jeez. Rage Will was able to, I don't know if he dodged, I don't know if he missed. We're just going to say Rage Will dodged that punch. It makes him sound cooler. Rage Will was able to dodge that punch against Chicken and was able to get that last hit on Chicken there. And Chicken knew he was kind of down. He tried to back away. Wasn't too much because he backed right into the ropes, and Rage Will, and when he was able to finish that off very well. Rage Will's up 1-0.
You can tell when someone's a seasoned boxer when they both give a yes before Sins can even get out his commentary jargon, as both boxers get their punches in, evenly dealt by both. Rage Will on the ropes. Chicken with about a 3-punch advantage to give, manages to steamroll through Rage Will. It's tied 1-1.
Yeah, Rage Will's like, oh yeah, I beat Chicken in the first round. Yes, and then Chicken's like, no. And Chicken was able to beat Rage Will in that one, and Chicken was very aggressive, telling him that, you know what, son, sit down. Let me show you what I can do. And he showed him what he can do. And Rage Will is going to jump in front of him for some reason. But it's not tied 1-1.
Both ready, essentially 2 out of 3, and then Rage Will keeping close to his ropes. Chicken with the aggression in, gets punches dealt back evenly. Rage Will jumps around, tries to get another punch in, trying to get something going. He jumps around, but Chicken takes the 2-1 advantage.
Check the chat. Is he going to do it? No, it doesn't look like it, because it looked like their hit was kind of a little funky in the first part of that match. The first hit, Rage Will, he says re in chat. So it definitely looked, at my angle, maybe a sort of a phantom hit. But though Chicken did win that match 2-1, and in pretty good fashion. Chicken was in the lead pretty much the entire match. So
2-1 advantage for Chicken. Can Rage Will get it tied up? Gets the first punch in on Chicken, trying to deal it back evenly. Gets the jump off. Can Rage Will get the other punch in? It's down to a 1 for each. Can they get down the punch in? Rage Will deals it back, but it doesn't matter. It was down to 1 punch for both, and Chicken with the 3-1 victory moves on to the Super Semis.
yeah, and Chicken he was able to. I think it was only down 2 hits instead of the 1, so they were actually Chicken was up 2 hits to 1. But Rage was able to get that last hit, but Chicken, it just didn't work out well for him. Chicken wins. I believe that is. Well, actually, no. Chicken, it's 2-1, isn't it?
No, it was 3-1 was the final score.
3-1. Okay.
3-1. They were tied 1-1, and then Chicken got the 2 rounds.
I'm not used to the matches being so quick. Usually we have to wait like 5 to 10 minutes for the players to know where the YES keys are in their keyboard.
That is fair.
We need to have a whole training class of how to say yes in chat. But that's besides the point. Great match. Chicken moves on. Hey, in the end of the day, Rage will moves on to the finals, and you know what? Good for him. And maybe they'll be seeing themselves fighting again in the finals. Hopefully for Rage Will's case, that doesn't happen.
2 more matches left to go on tonight's events, and both of the heavy boxers jumping and twirling, and it's Baxter against Metro. We already talked about what an incredible performance Baxter has had throughout his Season 9 debut as a heavy boxer, and he's had a great consistency, but that consistency has only gotten him to the quarterfinals, unfortunately. It's tough, especially for Baxter, since he's lost to good competitors such as Big Boy Lethal, Retro, and Comfy Land. But he has qualified for the playoffs through his efforts in the fisticuffs. And the question is, when can Baxter get past the second round? Is that tonight?
It could be tonight. It also could be maybe, but when Bax moves on to the next round, maybe that's when we'll finally find who the heck the Thickle is. But that's besides the point, I guess. But he's going up against Metro. He's fought against Metro so many times in Fight Night, and each time he's fought him, it's not gone well for Bax. And trust me, I've gotten the messages from Bax saying that I apparently rigged the tournament. No, I saved the rigging for Fedora when he makes the match selections.
Wait a minute.
Just kidding. Don't come at us with pitchforks and crap. But no, Bax he's a competent boxer. Like I said, I faced him in the ring in Fight Night. I am no boxer, but I've seen a lot of boxers train some boxers, and I can say Bax is a boxer, and he's a good boxer, and he can definitely defeat Metro if he wants to. Now he definitely wants to, but his biggest hurdle is that ping difference. I don't think he's totally overcome the ping difference. He believes that it is one side against the person with lower ping, or to get playing against the person with lower ping. It can go either way, really. I mean, we've seen that in the past where there's no solidified answer to that. But Bax feels he doesn't play as well against European boxers, so that has to be playing a factor. But then you also play in the fact that this is Metro. I don't need to say more. I mean, it's going to be a tough match, but Bax can definitely do it if he definitely wants it bad enough.
3 out of 5 to see who goes against Bright Boy in the Super Semis. Swing and a miss punch by both, but Baxter deals the first punch evenly. Gets it back to Metro. Baxter takes a 1-0 advantage.
Yeah, that was a pretty good start there for Bax, of course. Metro was a little slow out of the gate, I believe, when it came to the physicality. However, Bax was able to get the quick victory there against Metro, and Bax is up 1-0. So, a good start for him.
Second round, Baxter gets the even punch in, dealt evenly back by Metro. Both of them get 2 punches. Baxter trying to get something going. Both of them circling around the ring. Punches in. Baxter trying to get on the ropes. Both of them in. Metro down, and Baxter with 2 punches to give has a 2-0 advantage.
Wow. Yeah, that's a pretty, not saying it's shocking, but it's a pretty good victory so far by Bax. He says that European guys plague him all the time, but it doesn't look like that here tonight. Bax is definitely being focused. getting his punches in when it matters the most, kind of taking Metro off guard a little bit. So good for him so far for the tournament. We have one more win and he moves on to the semis.
2-0. Baxter on the cusp of advancing to the super semis for the first time in his career. Metro trying to force it to a third round. Even punch dealt by both. Swing and a miss by Baxter. Metro trying to get a punch in, get several in. Baxter getting it back on the ropes. Metro with only one punch to give forces it to a third round.
Man, that was super close for Bax. He was almost clinched his way to the semifinals. And Metro, they're being resilient as he has always been in his career, and he's not going out too quick. But look at here now. We have a special
disrespect card. Oh no!
Oh no! It is Bax. No, that's not Bax. That's Bacroix. That's Bacroix from French. He is a second cousin to Bax. We saw this in the NHBL Fight Night. Bacroix is back here in NHBL. It is what a moment. I can't believe this. This is crazy. This is crazy.
The disrespect card is hard right now.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's Bacroix. Where is Bax? Where did he
Punched
go?
by both. Even punch dealt. As both of them get the uppercuts in. Both even. Another punch dealt. Staying quite even in this. Will it be forced to the final round? Both of them down in the last punch. Baxter on the ropes. Punched in, and he's headed for semis against Bright Boy.
This starts a Bacroix.
That's not how you're supposed to pronounce that. I almost want to call Bradley for disrespect.
You shut your mouth.
Bacroix.
Eat my
For the record, I do know this. It is
My
pronounced.
French baguette. It's not. It's not.
I'm sorry, Metro. They made me do this joke at Fight Night. Please forgive me.
Listen, all seriousness though, Bax, Bacroix, whatever you want to say, I say it's Bacroix. I don't know where Bax went.
Oh my God.
He's probably in there drinking hot chocolate. But Metro, he didn't know what to do. It was just what a night. I mean, who would have thought that we would have been graced with the presence of Bacroix? I mean, that's just amazing. Him Bax moves on to the next round. Oh, what a great moment! This is the best moment of the night for sure.
Oh, this is this.
I don't know why you're upset. It's Bacroix. I mean, it's a freaking living legend.
Oh my God.
He boxed all over fans. Oh, you don't get it.
Yeah, it's because Spogo's upset because you're butchering the pronunciation.
Not even. Oh my God. Just shoot me in the goddamn head and be done with it. Can we go for the next match? Get me down there, Fedora.
Congratulations to Baxter. He's moving on against Bright Boy in the Super Semis tomorrow night. Chicken awaits the winner of the next matchup between Egyptian Bagel and Spot. Now, both of these heavy boxers are very interesting. You look at Bagel, of course, he's staying up there in the top tier of the heavy boxers as waiting on Bagel to get over here. And we're waiting on Bagel to actually get into the ring. He's probably typing so. Oh no! He's taking the French Bagel name too. This is not. Oh no! We at the NHBL do not condone nor endorse jokes that go on about French people. We encourage jokes about Spogo specifically because, he's the Spogo man.
What did I do?
What didn't you do? But
first, I didn't get my ass in the ring, so if you could get me down there, that'd be thank you very much. Come on, warm-ups. Let's go.
Baguette.
Spot and put French. Oh, this is turning into a French roast.
Wait a minute, is a French bagel just a baguette anyways, or is it croissant?
No.
This is a question we need answers. Bacroix, where are you? I need answers. What? Okay. You know what? Anyway, it's gonna be a good match between these two. Whether it is Spaten or whether it is the French bagel. Apparently, the Egyptian bagel gets around. He was what the French bagel, the American bagel, the Spanish bagel. I mean, he's been all over the world. He's a world traveler. Listen, we have the rails are we have been derailed. It is off the rails. We are ready to go for warm-ups. But this match is going to be good against two veteran boxers in Spaten and in Bagel. Spaten's been boxing for quite a long time, been steady as usual. Bagel has been showing up a good work as well as of late. And we've already seen tonight he's had a pretty good match earlier. So it really could be an even matchup down to the wire if these guys have that opportunity. By the way, let me open up my can of pop. Yes.
Is that root beer as usual?
Dr. Thunder, off-brand Dr. Pepper. I am ready to go. I am all amped up. I'm ready for the semifinals.
Full disclosure, we're not endorsed by Dr. Pepper nor Dr. Thunder, although we wish we were. Call us. But yes, it is. It is going to be. This is literally lightning and the thunder between, especially with Spaten. Again, Spaten on more of the higher tier with getting first and third place in the last few tournaments. So Spaten's a little bit higher on the tier ratings to Bagel, but by these warm-up rounds, it looks like they're pretty even matched.
Yeah, I mean, these two guys have a similar strategy. You gotta watch this. Spaten hasn't utilized his gator roll yet. I probably just spoiled it all for him, but you gotta wait because once he does the gator roll, a lot of people have tried to replicate it, but no one has ever perfected it like Spaten. You might be able to see that in this matchup against Bagel. Bagel's a little bit more of a relaxed boxer. Maybe Spaten can get around him, hit him in the buttocks, and able to get the win in the end of it. So be an even match, like we said. So,
I think it's time for the bell to go.
Cloche.
And the bell goes off. Bagel charges immediately from the corner, gets the punches in. Both of them about pretty even down to the final punches, and Bagel gets the first round.
Yeah, Bagel being pretty aggressive in that and able to get that last punch. Very even down to the wire. Just imagine if we had one of our French commentators like Pepsi or Radovan. I'm sure they have an interesting take on NHBL, and you probably won't be able to see it.
I don't think they would come back in the booth ever again if they saw what's going on tonight.
See, that's what the inspirational, Bakwa sitting in the stands. He has that inspirational aura around him, and it's inspiring Bagel to do very well in this tournament. So it's 1-0 for Bagel.
Obama.
What in the world? I don't know why he started out with
intimidation factor,
but it's 2-0 Bagel.
Work.
That didn't help whatsoever.
It didn't work. No, apparently we have a new rule of stay in your corner the entire time. Oh wait, we don't? Well, who told Spaten that? Because that's not what you do. Spaten's having fun. We all like to have fun, but at the end of the day, Bagel, he wants to win too. So, it's 2-0 Bagel going into this. So let's see what the third round will be in store for us.
I wouldn't be surprised if Spogo gives me his letter of resignation after this one, man. Punches both for an even. Bagel trying to get it in.
Oh!
Bagel, clean sweep, 3-0. Him and Chicken will collide tomorrow night in the Super Semis.
Man, Bagel and Chicken, we haven't seen a matchup like that in a good while. They've always had entertaining matches in the past. By the way, Bagel, just clarification, okay? So they went up against Spaten, a very veteran boxer, who's done very well so far this season, a very consistent boxer. Bagel just shut out Spaten. Talk about putting your name on the map again for Bagel. Bagel has been kind of complacent as of late, but he was once a really good boxer. He still is, obviously, but boy, that really shows that a lot of people who are seeing that be like, okay, wow, maybe Bagel's actually back now. And it's going to be scary for Chicken tomorrow, and that'll be a very fun match to see.
Heading to the ring now, our referee for tonight's contest is Fordo.
3 warm-ups.
As our warm-ups begin here, it is impelled to know that I think Baxter is very determined to win this. I spoke to him about his performances over the last couple of months. I think Baxter has done quite well himself. I believe Black Boy is also another capable boxer. But you see, out of him, when you have two very determined boxers, it means it is going to be a crazy match. It's going to be very crazy.
From what we have seen in the first round of the warm-up rounds, we have seen that Blight Boy has actually managed to trick him, like kind of baited him going to his direction, then completely encircle him, hitting him in the back, hitting him in the blind spot, and he's doing it the same. But He's now trying to go more up to the front, trying to take him down one punch by other, hitting those hits perfectly. And in my opinion, it's going to be a pretty balanced match, as I said it earlier.
Of course, I agree with you though. It is going to be an extremely balanced contest. This may even go down to the final round. Yeah, as they heading into their last warm-up rounds, three warm-up rounds, and I believe it is the best out of 7. So first to win 4 rounds will prevail to the final, which is 6 out of 11, of course. Round 1 begins. Baxter straight out of the corner there. No about. Here we go. Center up both men, center of the ring. Bright Boy has yet to throw a punch. Neither is Baxter. This is going to be a very intimidating. It's going to be a very technical contest. Both men trading shots there. Just a Baxter backs him against the ropes, gets tagged though on the way in. Does Bright Boy, both in the center, connecting, and Bright Boy will take the first round. Radovan, that was very technical. Baxter was trying to push Bright Boy back against the ropes, and it just wasn't working out for Baxter.
Of course, we could see that that Bright Boy was trying to bait him to the corner of the ring, so that he can manage his shots better. But yes, as you can see, then he pushed each other into the center, and then each punch of them started to fillet like pretty amazingly.
And round number 2 has begun once again. Both men center of punch, just technical. Baxter, however, this time baited Bright Boy in and tags him with a shot of his own. Oh, and back again. Baxter still has the 1 punch advantage. This is looking interesting for Bright Boy as well. He can't seem to get back this punch unless he really is aggressive on the approach, but it's not happening. Once again, center of the ring, trading shots. What a contest we're witnessing here. Once again now, White Boy's backing up. Baxter's doing the stalking, and they trade again. Baxter still up by 1 punch. This is not looking good. For Bright Boy, this is going to be extremely late finish, and Baxter left cross, adios. Baxter takes the second round there. 1-0.
That was actually interesting. He completely pushed him to the corner and then finished him up like there. But it was kind of a longer round, since they both tried to bait each other to the corners and then finish it up there. But they already it was a pretty hard read, in my opinion.
Round number 3, the scores are 1-1. After Baxter just took the last round, he's once again. It's more Baxter's around the area in the center, and Bright Boy's circling around the outside. But hang on a second, trading punches. Now that's aggressive. Whole different tactic. Bright Boy backs him against the corner, and we have a dispute already from Baxter. Baxter is complaining that he got the banded, which meant a ping spike.
All right, the dispute in the ring stands. We did not see any sort of rubber banding.
Round number 4 underway. Once again, both men center of the ring. Here we go. Bright Boy outside while Baxter's backing up, waiting for the bait, of course. Baxter throwing a couple of right hands. Both of them miss. Bright Boy throwing a left, which also missed. Trading shots. There we go. Both men shedding blood there. Center of the ring. This is extremely technical. Look at how many times they just in the center, not really using the full ring. It's interesting to watch this jump on the other side by Bright Boy. We're moving along. Both men are seeming to be the fist. Now Baxter is trading shots with. Oh wow. Baxter and Bright Boy are both on the same HP. I just keep looking at the same. I only keep seeing Baxter. They're trading. Both men down to the final punch. Both men down to the final punch, and Baxter ties it up. Wow. Radovan, once again, just, wow, technical stuff there.
we could see that they were trying to finish each other in the center. There were also many attempts to bait them into the corners and then trade some shots. But yeah, they were more or less dancing on the spot, not really trying to. Well, they were trying to eliminate each other, but yeah, we could see that they. Okay, fine.
2-2. This is round 5. Both men. Baxter straight out of the corner, catches him. But White Boy just whipped. White Boy return with a right hand. Both men once again moving around the NHBL logo. But Baxter's the one that's backed up the most here, though. As you can see, he's once again on the. He's much on his. He's staying on his blue side, while White Boy's on his red side, and just a wonderful 2-punch combo from Bright Boy there. Baxter is firing back of his own, and Bright Boy takes round number 5. It is 3-2 and match point for Bright Boy. This could be NHBL history. I just got the word 2 minutes ago. Bright Boy is from Peru in South America. We could have our first ever South American boxer in an NHBL tournament final. This is groundbreaking stuff, Radovan.
Yeah.
Round number 6. Match point for Brighto. 3-2. For Bright Boy, sorry. My apologies. He's backed up again to the side of the far corner of the NHBL logo. Bright Boy connects with a left and then followed with a right. Baxter fires a shot off, back on his own. No, and he missed. Bright Boy missed. Both men back to the same HP. This is interesting as well here. It seems like he's going into the left, and Bright Boy 2-punch combo. That is match over. The first ever South American boxer to go to an NHBL tournament final from Peru. What an incredible moment for Bright Boy. Well done. History-breaking stuff there, Radovan.
It was actually interesting. They first appeared to like switching sides. First, they were from what I have seen, they were attempting to like stay on their sides of the arena, and then try to bait them to the corner and then finish each other off in there. But then they switched sides and things started to look in Bright Boy's favor, and this is actually kind of groundbreaking to be honest.
Mr. Bright Boy, Mr. Bright Boy, so you made it into the grand final as probably one of the more of the underdogs of this series. So, tell me first and foremost, what does that feel like to you?
Well, to be honest, I'm really surprised I made it this far to this tournament, and this is my first tournament actually. I have participated.
Yeah.
I have participated in many major tournaments of the finite. I have won, I have lost, but I just wanted to say the journey was so long, but it is worth it because I'm going to say I'm going to win this tournament. No matter what.
Whoa.
I'm determined to win this thing.
I was going to say, because you're facing off against, well, the potential winner of Egyptian Bagel and Chicken. Two very well established guys in this. Chicken, HFC legend, European finals legend, one of the best European boxers ever, versus Bagel with one of the best fight night boxers, if not the best fight night boxer of all time, back in the old days. So so do you reckon you have what it takes to beat these guys?
I do, but I also do not underestimate my future opponent because of Bagel. I once fought him, won, but I really don't underestimate him. He is a good boxer, still is, but when it comes to Chicken, I really didn't have a fight with him, and it's going to be hard, but just because I haven't fight Chicken yet, that doesn't mean I'm going to forfeit or anything like that. I'll still go through and win this tournament, no matter what.
Alrighty. Last question before we move on to our next match. Oh, it's Bach.
It's Bach.
It's Bach.
Oh.
So, Mr. Radovan, in your words, no, in your words, Mr. Bright Boy,
Yeah.
who do you reckon is gonna who do you reckon is gonna be with you in this ring around 15 minutes from now?
That's
Who do you think's gonna be?
that's a really hard question to say because both boxers, Chicken and Bagel, have a good amount of experience to fight in this ring. So I really don't have the answer to that question, but I can only say this thing that Bagel will probably win or Chicken will probably win. I support both of them, and if Bagel wins, I'm okay with that. And that same goes for Chicken.
You gotta have a rematch against Bagel if he wins. A real rematch from Fight Night, maybe.
Yep,
Or
that's
whenever you
that is possible. That is possible.
Battle Royale Season 9, the final tournament of the season. The boxers are just about to start their 3 warm-ups here. Egyptian Bagel and Chicken of the Super Semis. Radovan, this is going to be one hell of a match. What do you think?
In my opinion, now that Bagel started it pretty slow, I mean, of course, he's now joking right now. But to be serious right now, I think that Chicken is going for the classic rough head-on tactics, like he did perform in the past. And Bagel, I don't really know about him. I don't think that I ever saw him, so I can't conclude what he is going to do.
Well, Egyptian Bagel, a very successful old-school Fight Night boxer. Was the original Fight Night machine. He was the former Fight Night champion. Also, in his first tournament, he won. Back in Season 7, I believe he actually won this exact tournament 2 years ago. The Battle Royale, the final tournament of Season 7 back then, and he had a tough time. I think he was on his. They're in different corners at the moment. I don't know if that's their style, but as I was saying, Egyptian Bagel, he won this tournament 2 years ago, and then he's kind of gone down a little bit. He hasn't won a tournament since then. And Chicken, though, on the other hand, one of the greatest European boxers of all time, European finals guy, always been around since Season 7. He's won a few tournaments this season. Pretty sure the Backyard Brawl, the first tournament of this year, he won, and they are done with their warm-up rounds. Round number 1 of this Super Semis clash, and Bagel hasn't moved yet. Chicken is still in his corner as well now. Chicken is still moving, and now Bagel's come out of the shit, fading back to Chicken against the ropes. Whoa! What a bait and switch there, Radovan.
That was an excellent bait, and that was an excellent showcase of how baiting works, but he took it literal. And he took it literal.
Oh, Chicken thought the round was gonna be reset or something, went back to his corner, figured, nope, hang on a second, let me go and punch him, see if we're actually live, and then Bagel just swooped him. Wow, I've never seen that before. Round number 2, Bagel is winning 1-0 after that devastating hawk-like attack. That was just ruthless. Backed him against the corner last round. Now it's a different approach. Chicken not falling for it. In the center of the ring, trading blows. Chicken ties it up 1-1. That's the type of Chicken that we know. Trading blows, center of the ring, Radovan.
Bagel was about to approach him, and Chicken goes slowly into the corner, but suddenly Chicken did a move that Bagel didn't expect and completely annihilated. They first started to trade off these punches pretty quick, but it turned out into Chicken's favor.
Round number 3, scores are tied 1-1. Now it's a little bit more slower from Bagel here. He's going to try and change it up a little bit. Trading shots again, just above the NHBL logo, and Chicken, right cross, pow, knocks Bagel out of the ring. Chicken leads 2-1. This is gonna be tough for Bagel to come back from this as a round down against a guy like Chicken. It is not easy to prevail at this point.
Completely pushing him to the limits of the arena and finishing him off on the side, on the borders of the arena, and it was completely amazing. Like if, yeah, let's take a look.
Round number 4, Chicken is leading 2-1 with me center of the ring. This best ever. Bagel goes back and takes takes round number 4. It is 2-2 Whoa, Bagel is mixing it up every round, keeping Chicken on his toes, making it very unpredictable for Chicken to win. Wow. Unbelievable stuff here. Scores a 2-2, heading into round 5. Both men center. Right, left on the NHBL logo. Bagel with a 2-punch, 3-punch advantage. Goodness.
That was
Match
actually
point,
amazing.
Radifin.
That was actually amazing. He completely tried to like push him into the center and then finish him off while he was in that center. But then kind of Chicken kind of pushed him more to his part of the arena, and yes, and Bagel somehow managed to turn it into his advantage, and it was absolutely amazing. Those punches that they were trading, and that was actually glorifying.
Round number 6, once again, Bagel is up against Chicken. What is Chicken doing? He's just throwing the match. He's throwing the match. There's a dispute though. Shotgun from Spogo. Hold the phone here. Hold the phone.
I mean, I can give the whole penalty. Bagel won the round. Penalty warning for Blue Boxer. He crouched. Warning. Bagel won the round, so we can go.
That doesn't count. Bagel will win the fight. 4-2 win for Bagel. Unbelievable stuff. What a performance by Bagel, Radivin.
Bagel completely pushed him to the corner and tried to finish him off in there. It has seen that Chicken was, I don't know, he crouched, so I guess he was on the brink of his powers, of his strength. So I guess he kind of dropped it and let the victory on Bagel's side.
Welcome to the Bagel. He's our winner tonight. He just prevailed against Chicken, 4-2. Bagel, how are you feeling, my champ? I reckon he's going to be tight. Oh, I didn't mean to eat my banana. I guess that's how he feels. So I'm just going to interview his corpse then. So tell me, Mr. Bagel, are you entirely are you prepared for Bright Boy in the next round? Are you going to what are you expecting from him?
Yes, I will do the fight.
There he is.
Good. Oh, there he is. There's the best Bagel. Now, tell me, Bagel, do you reckon that you have a good chance against Mr. Bright Boy tonight? Do you reckon that his playstyle might be something that you can exploit?
Eat the sandwich.
Oh, look, a sandwich, guys.
We do have 1 round tie breaker between Baxter and Chicken, who are both on the same round. Both boxes are 7 and 5 in the current tournament. So we need a 1 round tiebreaker to decide 3rd and 4th. A 1 round tiebreaker. Now it's on. Is pushing Baxter back again. Baxter's having a lot of trouble trying to find the range. Chicken trading blows here. Chicken has a 1-punch advantage. Never mind. Oh, he missed it. Chicken missed the final punch, and Baxter countered it. Baxter takes 3rd place. Chicken is in 4th.
He went pretty rough on him, not gonna lie. He went pretty rough on him, not gonna lie. So I guess that he could have, the Baxter had a chance, had a pretty solid chance. If Chicken didn't lost his last shot, he would made it in the first warm-up round, and what is that sound?
And warm-up rounds have begun. This is quite interesting. Both men using full leverage of the jumping technique. Both men trading shots in the warm-ups. Radivin, what do you expect from this final here?
I would expect in favor of in favor of Chicken because he during the warm-up round he's not showing pretty much any effort. Although I think that he will be fully committed during the serious part of this tournament. So when the warm-up round ends and then goes to the next rounds that will follow.
I'm just gonna say it's Egyptian Bagel and Bright Boy. Chicken already lost that tiebreaker round last round. This is the actual final Radavan. This is 6 out of 11 stuff here, and it's yeah, as you can see, both men using full jumping. I thought the jumping was I think the jumping is interesting. We haven't seen much of that though yet. Radavan, the jumping.
Yeah, we haven't seen it much today. And well, Bagel has finished him up with a pretty decent tactic and even pretty decent moves. But I guess that this isn't the final tactic that he's going to use during this tournament.
No, definitely not. I believe this is the final. As we saw, Bagel was mixing it up quite a lot in his previous fight against Chicken. He used many other techniques, and that was some fancy rounds there. I don't know what was going on. It was quite a slow set of warm-up rounds, if I have to say so myself. Yeah.
Son the bell. You may begin.
Round number 1 of this best out of 6 out of 11. The final match of the Battle Royale. Backed against the corner, and Bagel just tees off on Bright Boy. 1-0 for Bagel. Fast. Now, that was a different round, wasn't it, Radavan?
It was a forceful push from Bagel to the other corner. Kind of Bax tried to center it, but didn't really do at his little pushing games, and it kind of ended up like it ended.
On the bell, you may begin.
Round number 2 is underway. Once again, we are in that zone where Bagel pushes Bright Boy against the ropes, but hold on the phone! He ain't gonna go like that. No way. Bright Boy just moved away and found his space and backed up and landed a nice 2-punch combo. Radavan, that was slick by Bright Boy.
It was indeed. I mean, of course, back to the. I can't speak today. Move it on.
Round number 3. It's tied 1-1. It's faster than usual. Look at this. Bagel pressing Bright Boy now into the corner, hovering over the logo, but Bagel takes it back. 2-1. 2-1 now, handles. Oh, he knocks out Spogo with a critical punch, cleaning Spogo up there as well for the sake of it. Bagel is winning 2-1 here, Radavan.
Bagel was, from what we have seen, Bagel was trying to kind of baiting him, and when he already finished up, his thirst for blood has grown, and he started to slay everyone in the arena.
Son the bell, you may begin.
Round number 4, and they're both in the center. Bagel again, the ping against his advantage, takes the 3-1 advantage. Oh, for Bright Boy, and another Spogo kill. This is not on the necessary side there.
Bagel kind of succeeded in his pushing games, pushed Bax right into the corner where he wanted, and Bax was forcefully pushed there, stayed there, and then Bagel took it into his advantage.
I would just like to point out that Baxter cannot be pushed into the corner because he's at ringside, not currently in the fight.
Penalty on red Boxer. Referee disrespect.
Oh, here we go.
A warning. You do that again, that's a point for the blue. On the bell, you may begin.
And here we go, round number 5. Bagel winning 3-1, and it's another fast. Bagel is up 4-1. Absolutely manhandling Bright Boy. Radavan, do you think Bagel is using the Bright Boy's ping again. Stim currently.
I don't know. I never fought someone with high ping, so and like in any melee situation, so I can't justify it.
Sound the bell. You may begin.
Bagel up for. Whoa, hey, there's a shotgun. Here we go.
Saw your move. That's a warning. Round redo. Penalty on blue boxer. Warning issued. Both boxers are ready. Sound the bell. You may begin.
For Bagel connecting with a right up front. He has a one-punch advantage over Bright Boy. Bagel just absolutely walloping Bright Boy. 5-1 match point for Bagel. Radovid, this is a one-horse show here tonight.
Well, yes, it is. I mean, of course, Bagel was trying to bait him again yet to the corner, but somehow managed him to push him to the center and then finish him off like that. Yeah, he had a one-punch advantage there, but yeah, he somehow turned that advantage to even a bigger advantage and finally finishing him off.
Down to sound the bell. You may begin.
Round number 7. That was a laggy start. Both men center of the ring. Match point for Bagel. Pressure's on for Bright Boy. He's got to win 4 rounds straight to at least tie it up here. And there's the first one. 5-2 for still in Bagel's favor out of it.
Bagel somehow managed to I don't know. He kind of cornered backs and the tide turn. Backs pushed Bagel into the center of the ring and finish him off there.
Sound the bell. You may begin.
Here we go again. Match point for Bagel. 5-2 up. Aggression kicking in. Missed the one punch. Bright Boy. 2 rounds swept in a row. That's 5-3 now. Still match point for Bagel. Radovid, this is could we be seeing a comeback of a century? Of the century here.
Of course, we could see a comeback of the century here, and give me just a second. I'm pretty confused right now.
Sound the bell. You may begin.
Once again, match point for Bagel. Bright Boy's got 2 straight. Looking for another one. Misses another punch. Bagel missed the one punch at Bright Boy. Oh! Ho ho ho! 5-4. Bright Boy is on a roll. If there is a NHBL god watching over Bright Boy, he's watching over him right now. 5-4. Radovid, it keeps on going.
Of course, it was an outstanding match. Of course, Bagel kind of tried to take advantage of the situation, but then somehow Bright Boy managed to take the advantage. Somehow he managed to take the advantage of it, and Bagel just, I don't know, kind of stuttered there. Not gonna lie.
Sound the bell. You may begin.
5-4. Match point, Bagel. First punch is in Bagel's favor. Not looking good. No! For victory. Bagel puts it away. GG, guys. What a performance, though. Unbelievable match. What a match that was, Radovid.
Of course, it was an excellent match. It was actually even good. He tried to somehow manage to bait him to him, but then again the tide turned. Oh my god, my head. Oh.
What a fantastic conclusion to the regular open tournaments of Season 9. Clayface Funds. Welcome to prize presentations. We just announced it on our Steam group, but by virtue of Bagel, Baxter, and Chicken already qualifying for the playoffs, of course, we announced it last night. Bright Boy, Ragewill, and Metro have all taken the last 3 slots in the NHBL finals. But to them, they're looking forward to June and in the playoffs, but right now they're celebrating this moment to be in the Final 4. Chicken could not be present here, but congratulations to him on getting 4th place, of course, just falling in 1 round to Baxter in that tiebreaker, but getting past great names such as Space Vegemite and Ragewill and having a tough contest against Egyptian Bagel in the Super Semis. congratulations to him. We're looking forward to seeing Chicken in the playoffs in June. Of course, Baxter, you made it past the quarterfinals. Congratulations. And you had a tough matchup against Bright Boy, but then managed to get it done in the tiebreaker for third, fourth place. So congratulations to you. We're looking forward to seeing you in the playoffs in a few months. Bright Boy, you're the first South American-based heavy boxer to make it to the final, and the first one to make it into the Final Four of a tournament. So congratulations to you. We're looking forward to seeing you in the playoffs going into June as well. Champion of the tournament, Egyptian Bagel. People have kept saying that you're on a slump. They keep saying that you're on a downside and not as good as you used to be. All that fodder goes out of the door now as you are the champion of the Skyver Community Battle Royale, the same tournament you won 2 seasons ago when everyone thought you were the heavy favorite to win the NHBL finals. And hopefully we won't see you drop out of the playoffs this year. We're looking forward to seeing you in June for the Season 9 tournament for the Sasha Heavyweight Championship. Congratulations to all 4 of you. What an amazing conclusion to the regular season for the National Heavy Boxing League's 9th season. I'm going to hand it over to Clayface for post-match interviews. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you, Fedora, and what a night of is Baxter, 3rd place. Well done. Wow, Final Four. You achieved what you wanted to achieve. At least I think you did. Baxter, how do you feel?
I feel better about it than when I was going into the tournament. I mean, there was no disputing the fact that I hadn't gotten this far before, mainly because the commentators wouldn't let you forget about that fact. But now that I've gotten here, and I've also managed to beat a few high ping guys along the way, which I've been struggling with recently, I feel pretty good about myself. I mean, I had a pretty good match against Bright Boy, who is one of the better boxers in the league today, and is probably on pace to be the next big thing or whatever, but I don't know nothing about that. But anywho's, I feel pretty good. I would have liked to have won the whole thing, but 3rd place, it ain't bad for a guy who just started doing it this year, so.
Of course. And Baxter, we will see you in the NHBL finals in June. I look forward to calling some of your matches. Thank you, Baxter. Fantastic tournament for me, mate. 2nd place and making South America proud, holding his Peruvian flag, I'm sure. Bright Boy, what a performance. Nearly pulled off the comeback of the century tonight, but just fell short. How do you feel tonight?
I feel great. I haven't gone to 1st place, but I feel great and grateful that I got into 2nd place. Bagel is indeed a good boxer, and as for the playoffs, I am going to train harder and harder and at least be 1st place. I want to train and I want to win.
Of course, and that is definitely what I would be keen to see. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the NHBL finals. I believe it's going to be a fantastic performance from you, 1st ever South American boxer to make it to the NHBL finals in general, to my knowledge. Maybe in the off season we can maybe get you on a Brazilian card, or even if there even is a server in Peru, I will work on that. Definitely get you in that. Thank you so much for a fantastic night of fights, Black Boy. And 1st place we have Egyptian Bagel, who's also shapeshifted into 2 of them. And this is the actual Bagel here. This is the actual Bagel. Bagel, what do you think about your performance tonight? You've come 1st. You've proved everybody wrong. How do you feel tonight?
Good.
Fantastic. That couldn't have gone any better for you tonight. Say 6-4 victory for you. How do you feel about going into the NHBL finals, coming off a hot streak, winning your 2nd NHBL regular season tournament? And I believe you are the 2nd American boxer to win a tournament this year, behind Spottin. So there's also that. But how do you feel? How do you feel about heading into June? Okay, Bagel has. Oh, sorry, he's typing. Yeah, pretty good. Yes. All right. Well, first place tonight. Well done, Bagel.